Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be practicing a short Yin Yoga sequence focused on deep recovery of mind, body and nervous system. This practice is focused on the waters. So it's focused on the water element in Chinese medicine, mostly bladder and kidney meridians. This will help to recover all of the body. As the water is such a potent element and the water is so present, it affects the overall well-being of us as human beings. So for the practice today, you'll be needing 1 or 2 blocks and a bolster. If you don't have it, no worries. You can work with cushions, you can find anything in your space. Just make sure that all distractions are moved away, that your clothes are comfortable, and let's get started in cross-legged position, Sukhasana. Starting, we will do in Sukhasana, in the cross-legged position, and I always want to encourage you to once in a while switch up the legs, to not always have the same hip opening. We're going to be started in a bit of a pelvic roll, so you're going to put the hands on the knee, or you can grab onto the ankles and you're just going to start with rolling a bit. So you can close the eyes or maybe look to one point, but avoid looking around and find a point to focus, as this will help to focus the mind as well. And you're going to start to deepen the breath a bit. And we're here opening the joints and the circulation in the body. And there's really this invitation to move freely and also to breathe and release freely. So often in classes we can feel that restriction of not wanting to sigh or not wanting to make sounds, but in your home you can really use this opportunity to, if you feel like releasing on a sigh, just feeling for a moment and maybe hold if you're feeling somewhere that you need to be holding. Breathing. Letting the breath lead. Make sure you're moving in the 2 directions, maybe engaging the shoulders a bit, the head, just taking this freestyle movement for a moment and just, I call it this direct connection between the awareness and the body. So there's no interference of mind. There's no wrong or right. It's just about checking with the body and feeling what feels right. And in yoga, it's often the places where we hold some tension. There is our opportunity for expansion, for releasing. So take about 3 more breaths. And allow yourself to arrive here. Really feel those sitting bones ground into the earth. And then we're going to find our center. If it's hard for you to sit up, you can always sit against a wall to have a bit more support. And if your knees are really up, you can either sit already on a bolster or sit onto something. This will help to create a light anterior tilt, so it will bring the pelvis a bit forward, and this helps to lengthen the spine. Then we're going to place the hands together in Granthita Mudra, so we're going to place the hands like this. And this will increase the circulation in all of the body, and it's one of the most healing hand gestures that will help to restore the balance. If it's hard for you to, you don't have to hold the hands up, you can just rest them here to the front or a bit closer if you feel like it's hard for you to sit this way. Then close the eyes, drop the shoulders away from the ears. It was like this vision of someone pressing the shoulders down, as if you have 2 big warm hands pressing the shoulders down, and you kind of feel the weight of the day, the weight we often place on ourselves. You feel it gliding off. As you start and welcome the breath and welcome yourself just as you are in this present moment. If you feel it's hard for you to be present and there's plenty of distraction, I would invite you to focus more on the breath, more on the out breaths, and maybe sighing out through the mouth on an out breath once in a while. Otherwise, you stay with your natural breath, but you start to connect with an inhalation to the physical body and the feeling of the physical body expanding in the space, like feeling the awareness, the energy move underneath the surface of the skin. And as you exhale, you allow yourself to relax a bit more and you feel a sense of broadness in the connection to the earth underneath. And if there are very uncomfortable feelings, you can always try to adjust your physical position. But try to, whatever you're feeling, to stay present with it. And try to transform judgment into acceptance of what you are feeling. We're going to take here about a minute. You can join this mudra, you can also use it holding it in front of the heart. Healing comes through feeling. And even though we tend to push away uncomfortable and unpleasant feelings, it's actually learning to feel them that heals them, that releases them. So a mantra you can work with today, if you'd like to give the mind a tool to be more focused, is the I heal, I feel mantra. So you can say on an inhalation, I feel, on an exhalation, I heal, to emphasize the potency and the beauty of feeling tensions and giving yourself the opportunity to release those tensions. Taking a full deep breath in. Exhale once again, just rub your hands together. Place your warm hands onto the Svadhisthana, on the sacral center, just on the lower belly. Feel that warmth and try to take a few breaths into that belly, into the lower back. Then we're going to continue on with a pranayama, so you might switch up the legs again. And now you can place your left hand just down or up. This is a personal choice. Of course, you can use your favorite mudra as well. But the hand down will bring the awareness more to grounding, up more as a receptive state. Then we will do Nadi Shodhana and we will focus. Today we will start off with the Chandra Nadi because it's a slowing down practice, so we want to focus on the moon energy more than the sun. So close off your right nostril, or first take a breath in through both and out through both. And then we close off the right nostril and you inhale through the left. And you switch, you breathe out through the right. Stay, breathe in right. And switch, exhale left. That's one round. Inhale left. Exhale, switch right. Inhale, stay right. Switch, exhale left. Stay, inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Stay, inhale right. And switch, exhale left. Open both nostrils. Inhale, sit up tall, feel the space of your body. And exhale fully out. And then we will slowly transition and expose. So we're going to place the soles of the feet together. And we're just going to be here for a moment as we're going to do a pressure point, and then we're going to go in a deeper forward fold to really stimulate the whole back line of the body. So if your knees are far up, I want to recommend you in this butterfly pose to put the blocks a bit closer or under the knees. So if you slide them closer, the knees will come higher. So you want to avoid having any kind of tension here. You can also always slide the feet a bit further to the front. But what we will do is we'll do an acupoint for kidney 1 to stimulate the kidney energy. And what you're going to do is you're going to have between your first and second toe, where the foot sole starts, the transition from the ball to the sole, just over here. There's a little hole where we can go in. And you're going to use your thumbs to press there. So when we are pregnant, we don't want to do pressure points, but try to press here. Lift the chest, sit up tall, and we're going to take a few breaths, maybe some small circles on the spine or just pressing. And breathe. Breathe in. And breathe out. Again, stay with your natural breath or guide yourself into some slower out breaths. Then release and place your hands onto your head, and now place your fingers on either sides of the center line of the skull, and now feel as if you want to open the skull. So really just pulling this, stimulating this bladder meridian running through the head. So going there, pressing. And then from here, we are going to release and come forward just for a minute. Normally we stay longer, but we're going to transition in deeper forward folds. So hold a pulse or hold something. If this doesn't work, you can just sit up, but try and relax forward. Rest the forehead. And we're going to be here about a minute. So don't go to your maximum expression of the pose, but come to an expression that feels more comfortable for you now. And can you try, instead of pushing away any kinds of thoughts or mental disturbances that show up, can you try to connect to being present? Direct the energy to feel the body and to breathe into the body. Take a few final breaths here and feel where in the body can I release a bit more. Maybe I can relax my shoulders a bit more, my jaw, just checking the body and making relaxation the priority. Then coming slowly out of the position, close the legs, and now we're going to come into a full forward fold. So close the legs like this. Maybe you want to support the knees, so maybe you want to have blocks underneath the knees or a bolster, but it's nice if you have two bolsters, of course, or more cushions. But the important thing here is that you find some space to fold forward, so you can also sit onto a block or sit onto something, and then we're going to try to fold forward. Now avoid pressing on the knees, so make sure you're really supporting your knees. And then try to fold forward. You can grab onto the bolster to rest the head, or sometimes it's also done, for example, with the balls under the knees, and then maybe the block under the head. So come a bit more forward, or 2 blocks. Just try to find an option where you are not on the fullest expression, so you're just a little less far. And there you can become quiet, and we're going to be here about 3 minutes. So try to not focus as much on the end, but on the present. Try and connect with your mantra if you feel a lot of distraction. Inhale, I feel. Exhale, I heal. To take here a few more moments, try to really settle into the pose. Focus on the back line of the body, from the crown of the head to your toes. Try to feel if you can open there, soften there. As you're going to come slowly out of the position, take your time. And then make your way to a reclined position. So make your way to come and lay down, and before doing anything, just take a rest position. So put the feet a bit apart and drop the knees together. And again, you can place your hands somewhere on the body, maybe on that lower abdomen, and trying to feel that lower back expand to the ground. And then we're going to finish the practice today with some twists to really stimulate. We're not going to stay 3 minutes each. You can pause the video and stay longer, but we'll just do about a minute each side to really stimulate the digestion and to relax the belly, and therefore to round up and seclude the practice. We will first twist to the left to follow the natural movement of the intestine. So you can actually use the bolster on each side, because we're going to do this cross-legged one where we're again stimulating the insides. So we're going to cross the right knee over the left, but if you have lower back problems or SI joint problems, so your sacral iliac joint is not so stable, then put the feet next to each other. Otherwise, cross the right over the left and drop the knees to the left side and try to support. It can even be higher, maybe a block and a cushion, because it's very important that your shoulders remain broad. So you're not letting go here, you press the shoulders, you feel the heart space wide, and then you can bring the arms overhead or Rest your left hand onto the right knee. Just feel where you are. And possibly drop the right ear to the right side. Breathing. Stay with the breath, do your best. Stay with the sensations. And then slowly coming out of the position and getting ready to switch sides. So before going to the other side, you might take a little break in between, hugging knees to the chest or just feeling what comes naturally. So a big part of exploring practice is really learning to listen to your own body. Like, what is my body saying? What does my body want? And then we are going to switch to the same on the other side. So you can use the block or bolster, maybe you don't need it, it's also fine. You shuffle the hips a bit to the left, you cross the left knee over the right, and then you're dropping the two knees to the right side. And you open the arms, just feel where you are. I like to keep my hands on my body. I really love it. It's very grounding. It stimulates the parasympathetic. Or you can turn the head to the left. Just make sure that if you do so, that you keep that left shoulder down and you also have a sense of length through the whole spine. So don't get your head out of alignment. Keep it also in alignment. And slowly on every exhale, allow the space between your left hip and your left shoulder to increase. Breathe. Take all the time you need. Maybe you want to pause, stay a bit longer, breathe. A few more breaths nicely into the lower abdomen. And then coming out of the pose and rounding up with giving yourself a nice hug. Bringing the legs up for a moment. I always like to have a few swipes just with my hands, sweeping a few times just to the nice relaxation and supporting the lymphs. So also rubbing a few times to the back of the knees. And then we're getting ready for our final relaxation. It's very nice to have a bolster underneath the knees. Make sure you want to have a blanket here or something to really be comfortable and allow yourself then to fully drift off, either with the arms next to the body or hands onto the body. Releasing maybe on a few sighs, maybe audible with an ah sound. And then take all the time you need here. And when you will proceed at your own pace, coming over the sides and closing off the practice only in your own time. Thank you so much for showing up, for taking care of your body, and we hope to see you very soon again. Thank you.